You ever have trouble getting tomatoes or peppers to germinate? Well, I have, and today I'm going to show you 2 tricks that solve that problem. Let me start with this. There's a lot of people out there that does not have any trouble whatsoever starting tomatoes or pepper seeds. But I did, and these are 2 tricks that I found out that helped me solve that problem, and that's what I'm going to pass along today. So this video is about what I did to solve that problem. If you're having trouble with germination, give these little tricks a try and see if it helps. First trick, let's start with peppers. When I got the greenhouse and gonna make buku of money, gonna get rich and go crazy and all this stuff. So we're gonna sell thousands of plants. Well, that's all good in theory, but you got to start your seeds and you have to get germination. I got very few peppers and tomatoes the first go round to do. So what I did, made some phone calls to some of my friends that start seeds, and this is what they told me to do. Take your pepper seeds, put them in the freezer for 24 to 48 hours or longer. Some of them keeps all their seeds in the freezer, and it says keeps them fresh. So once you get your peppers out of the freezer, put them in warm water and let them soak up some of the moisture, and it'll just wake them up, and then after 30 minutes you'll be ready to plant. All right, while we're waiting on our peppers to soak in, we're going to start our tomatoes. So just keep in mind, I do it this way to help save space. When you start, all my tomatoes go in gallon pots. I don't use 6-pack trays or 4-pack trays or 2 each pots, but all mine in gallon pots. And gallon pots will take up a lot of room at some point. So we do it this way in order to save space and let them get close to needing to be up potted, and then we'll do it in stages. So what we do is just take a paint stick or ruler or anything along those lines, and we make a row down through here. I try to put at least 3, sometimes 4 rows per tray. And then this is Celebrity. This is a real good tomato. It's one of my favorites. It's real good for canning. My grandmother and my great aunt, this was their go-to for canning. So just start dropping your seed. I try to put them about an inch apart. And like I say, if these are too thick as they get to growing, tomatoes are very easy to separate. Now this is Better Boy improved hybrid. This is probably one of the most famous or most planted tomato seed on the planet, I would believe, because everybody who comes here to get seeds, the number one tomato that they ask for is Better Boys. So that's one of the main reasons I plant them, because everybody asks for them. I do put them in my garden, but my absolute all-time favorite tomato is Big Beef. You can't outproduce it. It is just unbelievable, and they got a real good taste. All right, once you get your seeds in, just lightly cover them up. Now I didn't plant this row. We're just going with 2 seeds. It's today's January the 24th, 25th, somewhere in there. And these is just a little bit early, but I have a customer that wants some, but he wants those a little bit earlier than the normal do. So I'm going to start these, and these is the 2 that he wants. So once you get that done, just pat them down. Now, so here is the #1 trick that helped me with my tomato germination. And here it is. Piece of newspaper. Cover the seeds with newspaper and wet it down. Now, tomatoes do not need sunlight in order to germinate, but now once they germinate, they need bright sun. They need a lot. So spray your newspaper down real heavy and get it good and wet. Now, we'll put a dome on it. We'll go back to the grow light and we'll put it on bottom heat. Now, with this paper being on it and being in the real warm grow rack under bottom heat, these tomatoes will germinate possibly 3 days. So I would recommend on day 3, come back, peel it up and look, and if you see the tomatoes starting to germinate, remove the paper from it. Only leave it on until germination starts to happen. All right, once your peppers has soaked in, take and strain them through a coffee filter. And then from that point, we're back to the same way that we did the tomatoes just a minute ago. Just take and drop them in. Try to get them around an inch apart. And they're going to stick to your fingers, but it's worth the wait if you'll do it this way. And just like that, it's the same as the tomatoes. Pat them down to make sure you get good seed to soil contact and put a label in them. And then once we get this implanted, we'll go back to the grow rack to get on bottom heat. All right, back at the grow rack. Last thing, put your domes on. Keep the domes on them until you get germination. So we're on bottom heat. Got the heating mat set to 90 degrees because both of these are really warm season crops. So we're going to keep the dome on it, keep humidity up, and we'll check on the tomatoes here in a couple of days. They should be 3 to 5 days germination. Peppers, now these are both a sweet type pepper. They could take up 7 to 10 days. Hot peppers could take longer, but probably in 7 to 10 days we should see some germination happening there. So that's what we'll do. We'll wait on that. All right, here we are at 4 days since we started our tomato seeds. And You can see they sprouted, so it's time to take the paper off of it. Now we will still leave the dome on for another few days, and then we'll remove it. Now, here's our peppers, and I don't see anything going on just yet. Like I say, it's just been 4 days. Sometimes peppers can take a few days longer than the tomatoes to actually germinate. All right, we're day 8, and we have good pepper germination. This row here, these two here are sweet banana, and these two are Bishop's Crown, and there's still more coming on. So that trick works, and I can still see, you probably can't see it in the camera, but I can still see a bunch more coming on. But peppers usually take 7 to 14 days, and it seems like the hotter they are, the more time it takes for them to germinate. But that is the tray that we planted in the first of the video. Went through the freezer, soaked them, and there they are. So that it does work. Now here is another tray that we did, and this has jalapeno peppers in it, 2 different types of jalapenos. One of these is jumbo hybrid jalapenos, and it's real good jalapeno. And then here is a chili pepper that's hot. I think I only had like 10 seeds of these. 6, 7, 8, 9. There's 9, 10 right there. So on this one we have 100% germination. Well, there you go. That's the 2 tricks to increasing your pepper and tomato germination rate. Now I want to reiterate on the pepper situation about putting them in the freezer. I do realize that peppers are a tropical plant, and where they normally grow, where they originated from, doesn't get real cold. I get that. But these 2 tricks are for people who has trouble getting their peppers and tomatoes to germinate. When I first started doing this, I had all kind of trouble on tomatoes and peppers until I figured out this trick, or I was told this trick on what to do. And for me, it's worked. So if you're having trouble germinating peppers, give these tricks a try. And hey, kudos to you people that has no trouble getting peppers to germinate. On the short that we did, I got a lot of comments that, hey, I don't have this trouble, this is wasted time and wasted. I wished I was one of those that didn't have time, but if you are having trouble, here's a trick that'll help you. And that's what this whole thing is about, just trying to help people out, give them tricks, show them the troubles that I had, so maybe that'll make their life a little bit easier. But hey guys, hit that subscribe button and help us grow the channel. And as always guys, if you grow it, you know it.